I'm Arijit Ghosh, and we are at Learning for a Sustainable Future Teacher Conference here in New Delhi. I'm in conversation with Dominic Regester, Senior School Advisor, British Council, UK. Welcome, Dominic. Why does British Council champion the teaching of core skills?
I think that we believe core skills are absolutely fundamental for a 21st century education. What we're seeing is really interesting parallel trends from education to employability studies and civil society or citizenship organisations who, for quite different reasons, are arguing that these kind of skills, this 21st century or core skills set, are absolutely pivotal for their different requirements. So on the employability side, since a McKinsey report in 2013, there have been a number of other global and regional studies asking employers why they struggle to fill entry-level vacancies when we're in a global situation of having 75 million young people unemployed and many more underemployed. And the most commonly cited reason that employers have given is because they can't recruit the workforce that has the soft skill, what used to be called soft skills set that they're looking for, alongside the subject content knowledge that they want. And then in tandem to this, I think particularly since the ratification of the Sustainable Development Goals, there have been a number of interesting pieces of research looking at the kinds of skills that societies need their populations to have in order for those citizens to be better equipped to work together to tackle the kind of challenges that the SDGs want to mitigate against. So you've got two really powerful trends coming from civil society and from the private sector employers, arguing for a very similar skill set requirement within education. Layered on top of that, you've also got research into what UNESCO have called the global learning crisis, which looks at why students who are in school in some countries are fundamentally disengaged from the process of learning. And one of the theories that's been offered as a solution to that is because it's how learning is delivered or received by the students. We think that the core skills can make learning a much more interactive process between student and teacher and student into the curriculum. So you've got three quite powerful drivers, which were what took us into the core skills realm: the employability, the civil society, and pedagogy or learning and teaching.
Right, thank you. What are the challenges of teachers' capacity building in different countries in the global context?
I think with core skills, one of the things that we've found over the first year and a half or so of the programme is that in the level of autonomy that teachers have in different countries and the amount of flexibility that can be in the curriculum vary massively. And that was why we thought it was absolutely fundamental when we developed the courses that the activities that teachers develop, the activities for developing core skills come from the teachers themselves in the different countries, because the teacher is the expert in his or her classroom. They know their content, they know their context and their students better than anyone else. And so we typically start the core skills programme with curriculum mapping activities, so teachers or curriculum bodies can think about where to position core skills development, and then the teachers themselves, as they go through the workshop, will develop activities that make the most sense in their context, that help students acquire the skills or practice the skills. And we think that that's the best way of tackling this challenge around varying levels of autonomy. I think there's also, as with any professional development programme, you get varying levels of teacher confidence and the kind of exposure that they've had to thinking about curricula in a different way or in a new way. But the feedback from year one of the programme, as you know, has been very, very positive. So what we hope, and we feel reasonably confident that we've sort of tried to mitigate against some of those challenges or factor in solutions to those challenges from the outset.
Fantastic. Now, in your role, Dominic, you have been a part of several teacher conferences organized by the British Council or even other organizations as well. So what is your reflection on this particular teacher conference in India?
I think one of the things which has been brilliant about the whole Schools Week is the level of enthusiasm and support from teachers across India for what we're trying to do with the core skills. So I think there is a really sophisticated engagement with the kind of content and ideas that we've been we've been sharing with teachers through the core skills programme. So I would say, the enthusiasm and the sense that this is very much something that British Council is doing in partnership with all of the teachers and the schools who've been here. It's certainly not something that we are delivering purely to them. There is a really strong element of co-creation in how the core skills are contextualised and imagined in India, and how they'll be delivered in the different states where there's the different curricula. So I think that's been a real highlight. I think the variety of sessions has been really interesting, and the opportunity to hear from lots of different Indian experts in their areas of their experience of the kind of work that we're looking at. So I think the whole week has been phenomenal. I'm very happy to have been here, and thank you for the invitation again.
Thank you, Dominic. Any final message for Indian teachers from your side?
So I said, I think one of the things that has really struck me this week is the sense that the work that we're doing with the International School Award, or the work that we're doing with Core Skills, is very much something that is done in partnership. And with any strong partnership, there's a good element of two-way communication. So I think it's been fantastic to hear from Indian teachers this week about how they're interpreting some of the ideas that we've developed, and to continue that process of dialogue and working together.
Thank you. I was in conversation with Dominic Regester,